Hey y'all, I'm Stephanie McBride, and I wanted to talk to you about which oils I put into my pregnancy self-care kit, which is an essential oil kit that I've curated especially for my customers who are mostly expectant parents and birth professionals. Sometimes I get essential oil educators. You all are welcome to enjoy this kit. And I'm going to tell you a few uses for each oil, but please know it's the tip of the iceberg. There's so many more uses, and these oils can extend well beyond pregnancy into labor for many of them, postpartum, issues with nursing, also helpful for children in a lot of cases. So you won't put these to waste after your pregnancy by any means. The first oil I want to talk about is lavender, and lavender is just like the jackknife of essential oils. So you know it's good for sleep and for skincare and for stress, but did you know it's good for nerve discomfort, which happens a lot during pregnancy, and it's also good for stretch marks. And I would add it to almost any massage blend or labor blend, but we're not talking about labor. But lavender is just like a great oil to have in your kit. The second one is peppermint, and I'm just going to demonstrate how I would use that for morning sickness quickly here. I just put one drop in my hand and rub my hands together and simply take a really deep inhale or two, and that really can help with nausea. It's also good for headaches and for waking you up when you're fatigued. Then with my oily hands, I will rub them into my abdomen or wherever I feel nauseous, and that just is amazing. And it's just like such a good thing to wake up your brain too. Finally, I have a couple more oils, not finally, but bergamot is good for anxiousness. So a lot of people get a little bit edgy and anxious when they're pregnant because they're having a new experience, and with a hormone fluctuation, you can just diffuse bergamot. It's also good for fatigue, and it's tonifying to the uterus if you rub it on your abdomen every day. Marjoram is in the kit because I wanted one that was really like a powerhouse for immunity. So if you're exposed to a cold or feeling a little under the weather, marjoram is a really nice, gentle alternative to something like oregano. And it helps with constipation as well, and it can be put in massage blends. So just a really nice oil to have for pregnancy. Ginger is similar to peppermint in that it helps with morning sickness, but also helps with muscle aches, indigestion. It's one of my favorite oils there is. So use it the same way I showed you use peppermint for morning sickness. And it's also got uses in postpartum that are traditional, that go back thousands of years. So keep it for postpartum. And Siberian fir, or any fir really, they're all really good for feelings of being overwhelmed. They're from a tree, so you're really like getting the feeling of those roots and the energetic power of the tree. Also good for air purification, similar to a tree as well, good for the lungs. Just a nice one all around. You can use it to clear the birth space or just to keep your house really nice and like clean, especially if you have older preschool age kids that are bringing home lots of goop in the winter time. It's a good one to diffuse. And finally, the last oil is wild orange. And that one is really nice for swollen ankles. You can do a foot bath. It's good for uplifting the mood. If you're not yet signed up for my educational email series, I've got tons of free information. I have a foot bath recipe, so you'll find recipes, videos, and resources through my email series. Please let me know if you need help picking out your oils. With this kit, you can also add a diffuser to it. You can take oils out of the kit and add ones that you want. So if you already have one of them, swap it out and make it as big a kit or as small as you want to fit your budget and your needs. That's it for the pregnancy self-care kit. I hope you check it out. Hi y'all, I'm Stephanie McBride, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of information about why I use only certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils during pregnancy and actually during any time, and why that's the only kind of essential oil I would recommend during this time of life. So there's a lot of benefit to therapeutic grade that has to do with keeping additives and fillers and synthetics out of the essential oil. And that, of course, is really important. We want to have the lowest levels of toxicity that we possibly can during pregnancy. And there's also the idea that we don't really know what they're adding. Like, it's kind of a mystery unless you get something certified of the kind of quality I'm talking about. Who knows what's in it? I know in the United States, the law here is that only 5% of what's in the bottle be what it says on the label. So if the label says organic jasmine essential oil, then it only has to be 5% organic jasmine oil. The rest of it could be synthetic jasmine oil. It could be another plant that smells similar to jasmine. And it could be a filler of just like something like coconut oil, and not actually have what it says it has on the label. So that's a little suspicious. So I want to share a study that I read when I was putting together my e-course on this topic. And it was about pure jasmine essential oil compared to synthetic jasmine essential oil. And basically they had monitors on the people in the study. It was a double-blind study. And they were testing like stress levels, basically the sympathetic versus parasympathetic sides of our nervous system to see what the response was. So things like heart rate and respiration, like 4 markers for stress. And the long story told short is that the synthetic jasmine excited a stress response, while the pure jasmine made people rest and be calm and set them into like a repair state of being. So this is really important. Like, and they were just inhaling the oil too. A lot of the ones that you use during pregnancy, you'll use topically, but don't underestimate the impact of inhaling impure essential oils. That also affects your body and your neurotransmitters and your heart rate and a lot of things. So that's one thing, is we want them to be non-toxic. Another thing that's really important that I resonate with a lot, because my background is in herbalism and I've done a lot of wildcrafting and growing of plants, and you're always trying to have the most robust profile of medicinal constituents possible in the plants that you're working with. And it's really important to start with like a great source for the plants, and then to make sure the growing conditions are like organic, or they're not using synthetics. They're creating like the best possible environment for healthy conditions. And then beyond that, even if you have an amazing plant substance, you have to have processing methods that are meant to maintain the integrity of the plant. So if you cut corners, or if you don't have the right kind of equipment, you're going to lose out on a lot of the medicinal properties. And that's really important if you want to have an oil that works for everything you need it to work for. So I'd say a really important part of therapeutic quality is not just synthetic, or like what you're not going to get from the toxins, but also what you are going to get. This level of efficacy where it's going to work, where you're going to say, oh, I knew lavender I could put in my bath and it would smell good and help me relax, but I didn't know I could put it on my sunburn or in my open wound to heal. I didn't know that I could put it in my tea and drink it. That's the different level of quality you're going to get with these certified pure therapeutic grade oils compared to grocery store organic oils. So another thing that I want you to keep in mind is companies like doTERRA, who I use, they have great relationships with the growers. They've sourced these oils all over the world, and they care about the environmental impact of harvesting them. So while you can create a really high quality, amazing, beautiful, non-toxic oil without these things, this is important for a much larger perspective on how we want to relate with people all over the world and what we want to do to take care of the earth. So I encourage you to appreciate this quality as well, and to look for this in a lot of things that you buy.